So for all the flaws in the system that we're in and all the gripes, and many of them fair, with capitalism and the system that we live in, one of the things that I think is really beautiful and powerful that I think a lot of people miss is that at any point you can go out and make a decision to do something or try something different and create a different result in your life. You can, I guess where I believe the power is that you can go out and create opportunity. You don't have to wait for a person or a company to give you a chance. You can go out and yes, it takes effort and it includes risk and it is tiring and at times scary, but the reward is there. You can do that and go out and create opportunity for yourself. Right. So that's one thing that I want to encourage my fellow entrepreneurs and business builders, people who are doing it or are considering doing it. For me, I want to get to the end of this life and I want to know that I went for it. And even if I fail, if this company fails, whatever it may be, I know that I attempted to go out and be a steward of my time and my energy and my talents and chase that freedom, right? And build something. And if I get to the end and I tried that and it failed, I will feel infinitely better than getting to the end and having not tried, but stayed nice and cozy and comfy and safe. My name is Brian Bandas. I'm building a real estate development company. I'm becoming a better father, a better husband, a better entrepreneur, and a better man every single day. Let's get it. You hear the bird? This is my little boy CJ, starting my morning out here on the back deck. It is almost the end of December. Good morning.
Good morning.
It doesn't feel like it. I was just sitting here thinking how awesome it is to have the freedom to choose to start my work day this way. To me, what I talk about constantly on this channel is freedom. And I have two guiding words in my life, two things that guide what I do are freedom and stewardship, and they're tied together, but those are my two words for life. Freedom gives me the opportunity for stewardship. So as an example, freedom allows me to decide what to do with this morning time. Do I want to spend it with this little dude? Or have someone tell me where I have to be when I have to be. Now, I'm not in any way trying to sort of poo-poo on people who have a job where they've got to go clock in this morning or anything like that. What I am saying is that I believe that everyone has the option and the opportunity to go out and create over time, not easily and not necessarily quickly, but create freedom for themselves. And if that's a matter of, I want freedom from having to clock in, or I want freedom from being winded walking up the stairs, or I want freedom from worrying about my next flat tire because cash is so tight. Whatever the thing is that is restricting your freedom to live the way you want, enjoy life the way you want. I'm not saying it's automatic. I'm not saying that you can remove all problems, but I do believe and have experienced in my life that when I decided that freedom was a non-negotiable. Are you a ghost? Are you a ghost?
Yeah.
When I decided that freedom was non-negotiable, then I made it my goal to go out and sort of fashion a life and a work situation that allows me to do this. I don't necessarily believe that everyone should be an entrepreneur, that everyone should do the things that I'm doing. What I do believe is that everyone should prioritize freedom and find reasonable ways to get it in their world. So we just talked about freedom, and I mentioned two words that guide my life, right? Freedom and stewardship. And the reason I'm sitting here doing this having this part of the conversation from my home gym is because it ties into this idea of stewardship. For me, I don't know if you've read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, but he has this exercise in there, and it's basically, imagine you're at your own funeral. Imagine what these people in your life are saying about you. What are your kids saying about you? What's your spouse saying about you? Your business partners, your friends, etc. And for me, I have a little bit of that in my life every day. I really feel like I want to get to the end, and I want to feel totally content with, all right, like that's what I did. I feel great about my use of my opportunity to live a life here on earth. And now that it's time to go, that's okay. And I want in particular, my family, I want my wife and my 3 sons in particular, and ideally everyone who knew me, but especially those 3, to really, really believe, like, man, that man went for it. And he, quote unquote, left it all on the field. And that's what I want to do for them. And that's what I want to do almost as an act of gratitude and thankfulness for this life. Like, I'm here. I can either pour myself into it, or I can live, in fear, or maybe live in laziness, or just, prioritize comfort over everything else. I don't want to live that way. I want to get to the end and be like, damn, I did that. Like, I went for it, I want to feel excited about what I've done. At some point, my time here will be over. That's unavoidable. It seems to have been true for most people. And so I can either get to that point and be disappointed, or I can get to that point and feel really proud of what I've done. The workout ties into that for me because I want to care for my body. It's also for me, it's fun. It's a stress relief, and it feels good, and I enjoy it. But the power in building this company, and like the motivation and how building this company ties in for me, is that mentally and emotionally it pushes me and challenges me, and it has forced me to start to do things and to try things and to consider possibilities that I just wouldn't have in the past. As I shared in another video, I didn't come from massive success or massive money, and I sort of had it in my head that, like, that's for other people. And in the process of, like, building this company, I've started to rethink who I am, or what I believe about who I am, and be willing to go, maybe those things aren't reserved for other people. And I would bet that you have something similar in your mind. Maybe it's not the exact same message as mine, but there's something in your head. There's some little voice, and I think that voice is self-preservation, right? It's something in us that wants to protect us from the pain of failure or whatever, that starts to tell us these little things about what we can and can't do, things we haven't even tested. I'm telling you right now that, my company's not at all where I want to be. I'm not to the finish line, but I'm really excited about where I am when I consider the fact that I'm doing things that I would not even have daydreamed about years ago, because I just had in my mind, that's not for me. That's for other people. Other people do big deals. Other people make, X amount of dollars, and that's reserved for me, and I'm not in that club. And so what's been powerful already, and I know I'm only scratching the surface, is starting to rewrite those stories about who am I and what am I capable of doing. So I believe that it is my duty to be a steward of my life, not just for me, not just I'm going to go out and build things and then I'm going to get money and buy cool stuff, but for the world. I believe that we, the world, need the best version of you. Our world is better, my world is better, if you are out there discovering what you're capable of. Most, if not all, of the great things we experience come from people, men and women, pushing themselves and pushing their boundaries and pushing back against lies about what is or isn't possible. And then they discover things, they create opportunity that is shared with all of us. And so what I want is to bring my best to the world that I'm in and to the community that I'm in, as small as my family and my sons, expanding out from there when my company gives to schools here in Nashville when we close a deal, expanding out from there when we give to national and international programs that are helping families who maybe need food or clean water, or helping areas that are battling human trafficking. I am able to impact the world more when I bring my best. And so for me, the word stewardship isn't just, oh, I'm going to go out and work hard so I can stack up money and buy nicer cars and whatever. It is, I want to give my absolute best to the world. And when I leave, I want to take a bow and I want to say, I don't know if it was the best ever, but it was the best I could have done. I hope it was helpful. So that's my why. And that's what pushes me through these barriers. When I hit a moment where I'm going, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm scared. I'm tired. I'm whatever. I'm intimidated. That's what keeps me moving, is that I want to get to the end and I want to know I couldn't have done more or better than I did for my family, for my community, for the world. It was a blessing to be here and I gave back. That's what stewardship means to me. And I want to encourage you. Your why doesn't have to be the same as mine. And the demons and the lies and the bullshit in your head that you're fighting may not be the same as mine, but I know you have it. Every single human being I've ever talked to has those messages and those lies and those insecurities. I'm telling you, push through those, because I need, and we need, the world needs the most badass version of you. I want to see it. I want to experience it. And I want to share my journey of discovering that version of myself with you guys. And hopefully you'll be encouraged by it and have some ideas that are sparked and all that. So if you're down, hit me with one of those and one of those and one of those. And let's keep doing this. See ya.